If you are curious, the bedroom's interior was conveniently hued in a rosy color. I suppose he wished to be accommodating towards my gender needs, as by today's standards would be debatable. It was furnished by a soft bed covered in sheepskin and feather pillows, followed by a white, long-sleeved nightgown of Egyptian cotton. It was a nice luxury, yet it was slightly obnoxious by the colors. Black roses and bluebell flowers were in a vase upon a nightstand, which made the environment slightly tolerable. Judging by the setup, his standards were meticulous and aristocratic. Disregarding the circumstances, I dressed in the nightgown, braided my hair, and had dove into the bed, the first deep sleep I had experienced in such a long time after sinking into the soft, feathery cushion. I had woken to the deep voice once more. "Wake up, angel of death." Releasing a few grumbles, I had emerged from beneath the covers, rubbing debris from my eyes, to see Mr. Faceless standing at the foot of the bed, hands held behind his back. "Good morning." I managed to croak out. "You must listen carefully, Fräulein," he said, approaching closer to my bedside. "Yes, I am listening, sir," I said, trying to remain calm, despite his sudden intrusion. "There is an important fact I wish to impart to you in regards to your angelic duties, and my duties as well. We kill people, as it is the role of a predator in the animal kingdom. You serve as the scavenger and recycler after the deed is done. However, we can only be mutual friends, and cannot, well, be close. It will throw the flow of nature off balance," he explained, though slightly timid in his tone at the end of his speech. "I had the same thoughts in mind, and be assured that I am content with you simply being an ally to us," I said with a smile and forced pleasantry to my tone. There were other feelings I wanted to express to him, but feared humiliation. He lifted my hand, held it between his own, and said firmly, "As it shall remain, Hope, darling Fitzgerald. Your arrival into my life has become a pleasant nuisance. I have watched you be romanced by Peter, how you have shared a family moment with Victor, and your rejection of Muriel. You fascinate me with your androgyny, and it frustrates me so that we can never marry." My eyes widened after hearing this confession. He is in love with me, and I annoy him at the same time? This truly has become perplexing and complicated. My cheeks burned with a deep blush and asked, "You wanted a marriage?" "Oh, yes. Any woman who has taken a stand against me so boldly is worthy to be my wife," he said, holding my hand firmer. "Then I wish you luck on finding another woman who meets all the requirements," I said, maintaining what composure I had left. "Faceless giant who is gentlemanly wanted to be my husband. It was so difficult to accept this moment as reality, considering how I had been ignored for a century and thought that I was undesirable. My self-esteem was on the low end of the spectrum, to put it simply. That, and I have stronger feelings towards Peter." He then released my hand and gestured to a closet from the other side of the room and said, "From inside the chamber, you shall find more feminine and finer clothing to wear for today's mission. There will be a Halloween party that will be taking place later tonight at the Cult's Masquerade Ball. It will be the perfect moment for us to mingle and discover information." My thoughts exactly on the party. "And we would not need to disguise our true nature since everyone will be in costume," I said with enthusiasm. "Of course. And I am eager to waltz with you," he said. "But Peter would be jealous," I objected. "Do not fret, I shall handle him. We shall share you as a dance partner," he said with confidence. Once again, this attention from suitors has become overwhelming and hid my face behind a pillow. My grudge with Venus had become more sour at that moment. "I shall leave you to your dressing. You may be surprised by what hangs in the closet," Slender Man said with a chuckle, and exited the room. He was right when I searched inside. The clothes looked costly and were made of fine black silk, fitting for a fragile doll to wear. The particular items which stood out the most was a coat of thin fleece material, black and white with stripes on the tails, and black frilly collar, and miniature top hat adorned in lace and raven feathers. I donned the coat and hat, with the long flowing skirt and the sickles placed in the coat pockets. My boots went well with the androgynous outfit. Very befitting for that particular Hallow's Eve. After doing the last bits of freshening up, I joined the others in the great hall where they had dined upon a luxurious breakfast. Slenderman placing a plate of pancakes and orange juice before me, and I gave him my gratitude. You are looking quite sharp, Peter commented. Thank you, so do you in your gentleman clothes. Befitting for an undertaker, I said in return, then turned to Wyatt and Victor. Each of you shine like onyx gems. Oh, yes. Slenderman is a great host, Wyatt said. Yeah, befitting of nobility, Victor added. Another man had joined our table wearing a dark riding cape, tall top hat, and red neck scarf. Good morning, Jack. Have you slept well? Slenderman inquired. Oh, better than ever, he replied with glee. I am pleased with your latest victims. Her organs were far more delicious than the last one, Mr. Faceless praised. The common man now calls me Jack the Ripper, the man said, beaming with a prideful smile. I had harvested the souls of those you had slain, Herr Ripper. Dare I say that you had done conspicuous deeds, Victor said, peering at him with disdain. That is the entire point of it. I wanted to strike fear into them all, he explained between his dining, then turned his attention towards myself. Who is the woman joining us? This work is not well for the fairer sex. Oh, on the contrary, sir, if a woman can give life, then she can have the right to end it, I said. He raised a brow, pointed a fork in my direction, and said, You have a sharp tongue. I would love to remove it. I laughed at this threat and said, Feel free to try, Mr. Ripper. Such impudence! He exclaimed. Calm yourself. She is an angel of death, and it is in her job description to do so, and it is high time you use that passion for the living, Slenderman said firmly. Jack slammed his fork down and said, Very well, but you are on my naughty list, little raven. It was amusing to see this man be so easily flustered by my words, and said, If it makes you feel to be a true man, sir, I pity your insecurity. The man laughed heartily, and I watched Jack exit the room in a hurried rush. Pay him no mind. He shall forget the matter by this afternoon, Slenderman assured us with a wave of his hand. You humiliated him good, Hope, Peter said, patting my back. Thanks, it was not difficult, I said, still amused by the exchange. He has ants in his pants, Wyatt commented. He seems to be having an inferiority complex, Victor added. He has his issues, but serves to be a fine proxy, Slenderman said in his defense. You have mentioned a ball being conducted by the cult, I said. Ah, there is so much to discuss on that, he said eagerly. We dove into a discussion of devising our infiltration plan. I do not want to bore you with the details, but you will see how it is executed by the time I describe the party's events.